bringing that up again because I will always have somebody who says, I didn't know. So, yes, you do. I send it out in text, I send it out in emails. It's on your homepage of your screen, letting you know there from day one. It ends at 10 o'clock on Thursday. Anything you want included in your final grade needs to be completed by that time. That includes all assignments, your final project, and that final exam. If you're in that final exam and the clock clicks off at 10 o'clock, anything you haven't completed when you are booted out will be counted as incorrect. All right, because you will not have answered it. And so therefore it's wrong. So please watch your time, use it wisely. Now, the other thing I want to bring out is in case you haven't noticed, we've got a wonderful storm brewing out there named Helene, Helen, whatever you want to call it. But it is out there and it is supposed to be in this area closest to us when? On Thursday. So I've got my stuff planned out. I've got my phone ready to go if I have to use that as a personal hotspot so that I can bring my final grades and transmit them. I've got battery backups on things, etc., so that I can do that in case my electricity goes out. What this means for you, you need to plan ahead. If you push everything's off to the last minute and your internet goes down, your electric goes down, you're going to be kind of stuck. So the class still ends at 10 o'clock. I can't stop that. I want you to really understand that is not under my control. And what the college decides, that is going to be their decision. I do not have say so in that, but right now plan on that class ending at 10 o'clock, regardless of what happens. You may be the only person that loses electricity or internet should that happen. So don't count on anything other than that. All right. So please prepare yourself. Always prepare for the worst and hope for the best. That's what you do. That's how you prepare for things in life in general, and that will suit you the best. So, everybody getting excited that we're heading down towards the final days? Yes, everybody? Yes, yes, yes. All right, you should be. You should be excited. You've accomplished a lot. Now, remember that last day, that Thursday, we do have a class, but that is going to be recorded. I'm going to record that. So, right after midnight on Thursday, you'll be able to get into that recording. It's going to be short. I'm going to tell you, it's going to be a short recording. So don't try to snooze through it because you're going to over snooze it. Okay. So it's going to be a short recording and I'm going to show you where that's going to be posted. So let's get to getting. I'm going to do a screen share here. Boom, right here. We're going to view this as a student. Maybe. There we go. I'm going to slide my screen over. Right here where everything is, where it says live class and recordings, click right here. Past recordings. This is where all the recordings have been. I pointed this out. Okay. So down here in week 4, tonight's will be here. I'll adjust that so it says Tuesday so that doesn't confuse you. But Thursdays will be right here, final day. That will become a live link and that's where the recording will appear. All right. So once that is there, you'll be able to do that and you'll be able to access that. Okay. And but once you see that, the link will not become active until on that Thursday. So the recording might be here, but you won't be able to put in the assignment until then. All right, so that's where you're going to get that in there. Those of you that are using the app, which I do not like that app because it is not the most reliable thing, which is why the school doesn't support it. You wonder why we don't support it? It has bugs, and that is not our deal. Okay, so right up at the top, let's see here. Where is it? Live sessions. Right here. If you look at and you're in the app and you're under modules, you'll find a link under there under previous class recordings as well. So that's the ways you get into those recordings, and you go into those recordings and you will find your question inside there. All right. Everybody good there? Yes, yes. So you'll know how to get to that. So if you want to get there and get that done, so you'll be able to knock that out early to get that final attendance. Okay. All right. So here we are. We are in week 4. You should be caught up. I'm going to be dropping zeros in there, so it's going to be no surprise if you're missing things. I'm putting zeros in as we go. And the idea is not to say, hey, look, you're doing bad. It's to show you, hey, you may have overlooked these things. It's also to remind you time is running out, so you need to make sure you're caught up on things. I really like the logic that y'all are using on these uh, different assignments in here. The one where you have to kind of make the judgment call in here, your leadership skills in action, where you're trying to decide what to do with these people that may have disrespected or acting out, and that those are some things that may come into play where people are trying to show who's going to tell them what to do. I'm going to go in there, I'm going to do this, blah, blah, blah. And it kind of throws a wrench into the situation when you thought they were your friend or friendship comes into play. How do you do that without it making look like favoritism's involved, etc., things like that? And if it gets out that people believe there's favoritism, how do you stop those rumors? Those are things that you need to think about because rumors in a workplace, it can bring things down. It can stop productivity, etc., things like that. It can break apart a good team. I know you've seen these things happen in a workplace. One bad player can destroy a whole team, a whole shift, etc. So we want to be aware of those things. So here we are. We are in Tuesday. That's that leadership in action assignment here that I'm talking about, where you watch the video and then you have a scenario here that you respond to. There's 2 different scenarios. You must discuss both for full credit. Now, some people are kind of under the assumption that I can just throw anything in here. As long as there's a response, I'm going to get perfect score. That is not the case. All right. I'm going to tell you right now that is not the case. And I've had a couple of incidences where the responses have been less than respectful to me, and that will stop. Okay. Don't try it. I'm a very polite person. I'll let you go so far and then it's going to end. Okay. That type of tactic that I'm going to do this so that I get this type of score, that will end now. You haven't made it to the end of the course, and that will cause your score to drop because you will get less than the grade you think you're going to get on that assignment. So be respectful, do the assignments as they're intended, and answer properly to all parts of it. All right? So laying down the instructions, you will follow the syllabus, you will follow the assignments. Okay? There comes a point where, unfortunately, we do have to reiterate that these are the instructions in the class where the large majority, everybody is following, but there's a couple people that are not wanting to, and they're placing blame on everybody but themselves for being able to do it. If you're not attending properly, or you're not following things, or you're having difficult any scenario, if you truly need to have help, reach out, tell me exactly where you're having difficulty, and I'll be more than happy to. But do it in a respectful manner because I will always respect you. All right. Tell me which assignment exactly you're having difficulty with. Keep in mind how many assignments there are and how many students, and I have to go back and find the one that you're having difficulty with. I'll be more than happy to help you, but help me help you. All right. And I'll be more than glad to do that. Okay. Let's keep that in mind as we move forward. Okay, so we are almost to the end. And I want you to know we have people that are being extremely successful. And I want you to keep that motivation going through this end. Okay, the results from career services. Everybody that did an interview did exceptional. There are things we can always improve upon, myself included. We are always able to improve. How many believe we can always improve ourselves? Anybody believe we can improve ourselves? Okay. Yeah, every hand should be up because none of us are perfect. If you think you can't improve yourself, you need to check yourself. Because I can tell you, if you think there is no room for improvement, that's where you need to start improving. You need to look and write yourself a big reality check. We can all improve ourselves, every one of us. There is always room for improvement. There is always something else we can expand our knowledge on, and we need to be open to that. Okay? Somebody giving you advice or in different ways or outlook, they're not condemning you. They are not telling you what you're doing is wrong, horrible, or this. They're giving you additional skills, and always take advantage of those learning opportunities. Okay? So, on those notes that may have come back on those interviews, see if they wrote anything. If they did, take a look and see if that's a way that you can improve. This information that you got back from doing the interviews with people, learn from them. This is kind of an insight into the people above you. Make sure that when you do this assignment here, the results that you got back, go in here, click that start assignment, click on that text entry, type it in there. Okay. If you weren't able to type it, and you had to handwrite it, that's fine. I'll take a handwritten thing, take a picture of it with your phone, email it. I will put this in here. The thing is, I want you to have this information. Okay. Learning is more important than anything than getting it typed in here. If you absolutely can't get it, write it down, make it legible, take a picture, email it to me. I will attach it for you because the information is far more important. Okay. I really do want you to learn this because this is going to help you more than you realize. Okay. The last thing, this career plan. Okay. There is that template that's in here. If you can't get this to print, take a picture with your phone, whatever, write it out on a piece of paper. Again, your long-term goals belong here. Your personal skill set. These are the skills you have. You should know what skills you have. If you don't know what skills you have, you don't know what belongs on your resume. You don't know what to tell the person in the interview. What do you bring to the table? Okay. So you should know these things by now. You're getting ready to go out and get that job, or you may even have it. But when you go to move up, they may ask you, what skills do you have? So tell me, what are those skills? And what skills do you have that are transferable? Okay, these are your people skills. Do you work well with teams? List them in here. Okay, do you know what salary your position should be? How many people know what salary they should start at? Does anybody know for their career? How many people know what you should be looking at when you start your job? One person? Anybody else know what you should start at? Okay. If you don't, you need to look that up. Okay. There's a couple of places you can look that up. I will email that out and I advise you to look. You need to know. Otherwise, when you go in and they offer you money, how do you know they're not lowballing you? You gonna just take their word for it? Because I can bring two of you in and offer you the same position, and I can offer you $10 less than the other person. how are you going to know that that's a good dollar amount? If you don't know what you should be paid, and once you accept it, it's on you. You go back in there and you complain about it, they're going to fire you. Too bad. You didn't negotiate a good starting salary. That's not on them. They got a good deal. You didn't. You can't blame other people if you don't know what you're worth. Okay? Does everybody understand that deal negotiation? You have to be responsible for yourself. How many? I want to see that. Everybody knows that deal negotiation. You are responsible for that. I need to see a show of hands. Everybody, you need to know you're responsible.
Copy that.
Yeah. This is not always a standard thing. And I want you to get the best because they will not always look out for you. And I have been there. I found out in one position I was making thousands less than the lowest paid person in my position. Thousands. So I did the smart thing. I went job hunting. I got me another job. I got hired. I started the next job. My current job that I had, they called me and they said, "You didn't show up for work." And I said, "That's right." They said, "Are you coming in to work tomorrow?" I said, "No." They said, "Did you quit?" I said, "You tell me." And they said, "Well, what's your reasoning?" I said, "I can give you a few thousand reasons. And you know why?" And they said, "Oh, is it your salary?" I said, "Oh, wow, you went to that real quick, didn't you?" They said, "Well, what if we increase your pay?" I said, "Are you going to back pay me for the 2 years I worked there?" "Oh, no, we can't do that." I said, "Then don't call me again." They are not my friend. They ripped me off for 2 years and they knew it. It was my fault. I let them. I gave them the opportunity to make it right. They didn't. I didn't give them notice. I don't have to. How many people believe you have to give 2 weeks notice? How many people believe this? Wrong. 2 weeks notice is convenient for them. How many people get 2 weeks notice before they're fired? Uh, Look at that. They don't give people 2 weeks notice before they let people go. Isn't that funny? But yet they demand it. So here's the thing. You don't have to give 2 weeks notice. It's convenient if you can. But once you acquire a new job, you can go in and say, in 3 days and 4 days will be my last day. Oh, they're going to hit the roof. They're going to be mad. But they cannot give you a bad reference. How many people knew that? They can't give you a bad reference. Did you know this? It's illegal. Legally, they cannot give you a bad reference. What they can do is they can verify how long you've worked at a place, when you started, when you stopped. That's all they can do is verify the length of time you were there. They cannot give you a bad reference. That 2 week notice, that's convenient for the employer. They cannot hold on to your paychecks. How many have been threatened? We're going to hold your last paycheck till you turn in this or turn in that. How many people have been told that? Yeah, they can't do that. It's illegal. They cannot hold paychecks. It's wonderful the things that they try to intimidate us for, but they cannot. So you need to know your rights. You need to know when to stand up for. So I want you to be protected. I want you to know what you can legally do and can't do. So negotiating that dollar amount is very important. And it starts with knowing what you should get paid. So please watch. I'm going to send that email out either tonight or tomorrow, and there's going to be 3 sites on there. One of those will be Glassdoor. Has anybody heard of Glassdoor? Some of you have. Glassdoor will let you go on there and look for a review of where you wanted to work, and you'll see people who've worked there. They review it and they tell their wages there. The other ones, they're both government sites, and they'll tell you, one will tell you what you can expect to get paid in that job on average across the country. So watch for those, okay? Glassdoor is free. It'll ask you to sign up, but it is free, okay? So watch for those. I'll send those out tonight for y'all, okay? So let's get back to this here. So that's the thing. And then your final exam, I want you to know we redid this final exam. You've got the new final exam. 2 of the classes are having the old final exam. Look right here, 25 questions. 2 of the classes that are not mine, but I'm substituting for, they have 40 questions. So you can thank me now, 25 questions versus 40 questions. Hooray. You're welcome. You can show your appreciation for that. The other thing is, hopefully we've got this corrected so that it is all multiple choice, not short answer. So I hope it is multiple choice. If there's a short answer, hopefully it is very short answer. And I will be going through and verifying all the answers on here. So if there's some multiple choice that are kind of iffy, you'll gain the advantage on here. Hopefully you did the bonus point thing with the headshots, I believe was the last one. Everybody do the headshot photo for those bonus points. I hope so, because that was 5 points you'll get on this. So hope everybody was pretty and sent those in, because that's closed, but that would have got you 5 extra points. All right, so that's that. We're going to get now on this presentation so we can get y'all out of here, because I know that's what y'all want. And here we go. So starting your career, because that's what you're going to be doing here. You're going to miss me drawing my smiley faces. I know you are. We're going to talk about professionalism, multi-generational and multicultural workplaces, and how to ensure that successful career. So we talk about professionalism, but we're not always professionals. Okay, so it includes your judgment, character, and behavior that's expected of you. It includes your workplace skills and your self-management skills. Now, your workplace skills, okay, so those are going to be your basic skills, your thinking skills, your people skills. Those are all your workplace skills. Your self-management skills, these are the ones that take a little bit more work. And these are the ones that control our personal habits. So self-management ones are the ones for punctuality. Be on time. Let me tell you, we may joke about it, but your coworkers, we don't like you showing up late. Okay, because we have to do your work and we're tired of it. So always be on time. Dependability. If we can't depend on you, we don't really want you or need you. We need to know that you are there and you've got our back, we've got your back. Time management. Who has a problem with time management? Because I can go through the grade book and I can point out who's having problems with time management, because you guys have horrible schedules. So it's not all your fault. But time management, start working on it, okay? You're overcommitting in some situations. I want you to learn a word. This is a really difficult word. It's called no, okay? It is one of the hardest things to say, is no. And one of the hardest things to do is tell friends and family no. Okay? You're going to have to. You're just going to have to. And that's one of the things we got to do. And emotional regulation. How many people have tempers? Tempers and attitudes. You've got a temper and an attitude, change it, okay? Breathe. Take it down a notch, okay? That temper's not going to help. Why get mad? There's nothing that's going to change. A temper's not going to change anything. We make mistakes. Don't get mad over it. I say this, but I told you I like that big old bomb with an F on top. I like my F bombs. So I have to watch that. Okay? I like those F bombs. Boom, 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 boom. Okay? So I have to watch that. So I have to practice my emotional regulations when I'm at work. Okay? So be on time. Okay? It can lead to resentment. Okay? Dependability. Keep one's word. Be honest. Okay? That is a big thing. If somebody comes up and asks you, did you break this? Did you do this wrong? Blah, blah, blah. Be honest. Okay? Because there's a good question if they or a good chance if they're asking you, they know the answer and they're checking to see if you're going to be honest about it. And if you break that trust, if you're dishonest, your brand is going to suffer. Your reputation's going to suffer. How many people work with somebody and they've lied about something they did and you don't trust them from that point forward? How many people have done that? They lied to you and now you don't trust them. And you were fine with everything up until that point. But now they've got to build it back. And it's hard because you want it to be there. Okay, time management. Work smarter, not harder. Now, some of this is because you take on too much. If somebody approaches you, how many people have coworkers that give you all their work? How many people have those people in the shops and that? They give all your work to you. They approach you, they go to hand you something, take both hands, put them behind your back, and look at it, go, I'm sure you can handle that just fine. Do not take anything out of their hands. Do not. As soon as you take something out of somebody's hand, it is your problem. You own it. Do not take things out of people's hands. Put your hands behind your back. Don't take it. Look at it. Don't take it. They try to hand you it. Don't. No, sir. No, ma'am. Hear me out on that. I learned that from an older woman that I worked with. Very smart. You couldn't give her anything. It was like trying to feed a 2-year-old something they don't want. Have you ever seen them bob and weave while you got that spoon and you're trying to make the plane and the choo-choo sounds trying to get them to eat? Yeah, you bob and weave. You don't let them hand you that. The other way you do it is say, I would love to help you with that, but I need you to do this for me. Oh, watch them run. You try to give them work for work. They don't like that. What's wrong with this? They're going to look at you like you got two heads. You're giving me work back. Well, if you give me work back, I still got work to do. Exactly. They'll stop asking you. Learn. I told you I'm 2 days older than dirt. Manage people. The other thing, people come up to you, right? You're going to love this one. When they come up to you to try to give you something, don't back up. I want you to take 2 steps towards them. Does anybody know why? Because when you take 2 steps towards them, you're going to invade their space and they don't like it. So they're going to back up. When they back up, take 2 more steps. Keep moving towards them as they talk to you, trying to give you something, and you're going to push them out the door just by invading their space. Trust me, they won't like you. Keep moving closer to them as they're trying to give you something. They're going to feel uncomfortable. They're going to back away. They're going to stop trying to approach you because every time they approach you, you're going to keep moving closer to them. They don't like it. It's a way of managing people. Trust me. Okay, emotional regulation, control your emotions. Okay, lacking this skill, you will lose jobs. Okay, so please work on that. Okay, breathe, calm yourself down. So, multi-generation. That means that people are a generation or people in the same period. Multi-generation means people are different ages. How many people work with people of different ages? Younger, older? Isn't it great? You learn from people with experience. You learn from people with new ideas. It's great. So, hint, these will probably pop up on the final. Generations, most common, baby boomers, also known as boomers, Gen X, Gen Y, those are the millennials. If you hear millennials, those are Gen Ys. Gen Z. I love Gen Z because it reminds me of the Z cars. We've got a 240Z. Love that car. So, but there's a fifth one called the silent generation. No, don't giggle and say silent but deadly, okay? Not that type. These people were born between 1920 and 39, and it's still 2% of the workforce. These people won't give up. They're still working. All right. They're retired, but some of them still work part time. And they always thought value, tradition, history, and hard work. They went to work for a company, and where they started, you work there for life. That was it. One company for life. Okay. Then came the boomers from 44 to 64. Okay. They were ambitious, goal oriented, strong work ethic. They valued relationship and they believed that if you worked hard, you would move up the corporate ladder. That's where the ladder system came to be. The longer you were with a company, the more you would move up. It was a given. And the companies paid you back. They were as devoted to you as you were to them. Now, Gen X, my generation, 1960 to 1980s. Any Gen X out there? Anybody in the Gen X's, 60s to 1980s? Nope. Up, couple. Okay. Social, economic, and technological change. A lot happened. Boy, we went from hippies to the disco to the punk rock. I was a punk rocker, had my green mohawk. I love punk rock still today. Okay, for practical resource, we were the first ones to come up with this. We wanted work-life balance. You're not going to work us to death. We want to be able to have a life too. We were self-sufficient and adaptable. All right. This is also when you started seeing the first computers hit the homes. Think about that, how long ago that was. Home computers were starting to happen. Now, any Gen Ys, 1981 to 1996. This is where I usually start to hit people. Gen Ys, the millennials. Anyone from 1981 to 96? Yep, there we go. You're tech savvy, you're ambitious, you like to work on teams, and you look for ways to be efficient. This is something different. You like to be flexible and sociable responsibility, and you're passionate about social and environmental issues. You guys want to be in groups together. You want to be around each other. Okay? Our generation, we hung out in like large groups, but I mean, the 60s, we all know about Woodstock, okay? Well, we know about, we just don't remember it. Gen Z. Okay, who's a Gen Z after 1996? All right, there we go. Okay. Now, you guys have always had digital devices. Always, always, okay? No excuse to not know computers because they were here before you, okay? Now, you like technology, not necessarily computers, but technology in general, and you adapt well. You're open to diversity. You want to be your own boss. You like social justice, environmentalism, and equality. You want everybody to be the same. You don't care what anybody else does. Everybody does their own thing, okay? And you're creative, okay? Those are the generations. So now we have multi-generations, and multicultural workplaces. Those are people from different, diverse backgrounds, cultures, and identities. Okay? Everybody works together. It doesn't matter what you personally think on the job, everybody works. Okay? And it requires cultural competence. That means you need to understand enough to communicate, interact, and collaborate. You got to work together. Okay? If you can't work with the people there because you have certain things that you don't like about groups of people for whatever reason, you need to go because everybody else isn't going to change for you. You need to find another place that fits your way of thinking so you will be comfortable. Okay? It's called you can't wag the dog. The dog wags the tail. You can't wag the dog. If you're not comfortable in that work environment, find a work environment that's going to fit your way of thinking because you need to be open minded, respectful, and communicative. You have to be able to talk to people. Okay? How many people work in multicultural workplaces? People of all different backgrounds. Giovanni does. Anybody else work with people from different backgrounds? It's a good thing because you learn from everybody. People think differently, they come up with better ways. Together, we are all better. The more ideas, the more we have. Teams work better. That's why we like to have people from different areas, things like that. That doesn't mean that you say, okay, we need one of every person on it. What it means is different people think differently. They bring different ideas to the table and be open to it. Now, Florida is a right to work state. They can walk in and say, every third person is fired. No reason, no logic to it, and they don't have to give you notice. Florida is right to work. They can terminate you at any time without giving you a reason. They don't have to. But how many people have had to sign an employee handbook? Anybody have to sign for employee handbooks, policies when they were hired somewhere? Okay, I can
Yes.
honestly tell you, I did not read mine all the way through. Most people don't, but this handbook can save you because your handbook supersedes state law because it's a contract between you and your company. And people don't realize this necessarily because that handbook can tell you how they have to actually follow procedures to terminate you. And typically, most companies follow progressive discipline, meaning they'll have to give you some sort of warning, verbal or written, and then maybe they'll do some sort of suspension before they do a termination. So if your handbook says that, unless it's an extreme violation of safety or something, you are protected from them just coming in and saying, today, everybody named Mr. Haley, we're going to terminate. So those handbooks are actually little contracts that says, I will follow this, but it also says the company will follow this. So those are good things for you. Now here's the fun part. You're going to spend a lot of time in your job. So that's why I asked you the question. Remember going back, I asked you, what do you look for in your company besides money? Remember when I asked that question? There was a reason for that. You're going to spend a lot of time. So I hope you chose a career you actually enjoy doing and you're going to enjoy doing because you're going to be there many, many hours. Money doesn't make everything right. It just doesn't. So you need to make sure you're doing things good. Continue personal development. Learn new skills. continuing education, certifications like OSHA, etc. Make sure you keep up with those. Because if you don't and somebody else is, they're going to move ahead and you're going to be the person in the same position 20 years later. How many people have seen this where one person has been in their position 20 years and everybody newer moves up? Because they're not willing to learn, they're not willing to expand. Okay? Continue to network throughout your career. Please talk to people in your fields, learn. You may find a new specialty in your field that you want to go on to. It sounds like I'm pleading and begging because I really want you to be fired up about your career. You really should. You need to be tuned in and tuned up. Have realistic expectations. I used to get people right out of college going into programming careers and things like that. They thought they were going to get a corner office with views of this. They were going to get a new car, this and that, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm sitting there looking at them and I'm like, yeah, you're not getting any of that. You're getting a little cubicle, a phone, and bring your own this and that. And your version of the free catered lunch every day, we've got a vending machine, bring quarters. Have realistic expectations. So that's why you need to know what to expect from your job. Know what salary, know what benefits. If you don't know what to expect, how do you know what they're going to give you? And respect your money. Okay. Know what to do with it. A lot of your money and gaining money is saving the money. Okay. That means know where to spend it. If half the groceries in the store that you're buying are too expensive, don't buy those groceries there. Make another trip on another day to the other grocery store and buy half of them there. Save your money that way. It may take a little bit of effort, but I don't know about you. I'd rather double my money. You work hard for your stuff. You really do. And you don't get the credit for the work you do. Don't throw your money away. I worked in a vet office. Where's my vet students? I think Giovanni, you're vet, right? Yeah. Okay. Your vet students worked with a girl at VCA, Veterinary Centers of America. Okay. She needed a car, couldn't afford one, but yet she's going to Starbucks twice a day. We told her we got a fancy coffee machine right here, makes every drink you can imagine, espressos, double lattes, da 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 da. It was free in our office. Push the button. Coworker and I showed her how much by skipping Starbucks twice a day over the course of a month, she was able to handle a $500 a month car payment just in the money she was saving from coffee. Isn't that sad? $500 she could put with whatever money else she wanted for a car payment and not be spending any more money. Just stop the coffee. I love my coffee, but come on, $500 a month. Which do you want? Coffee or a car? Be a good employee. Maintain professionalism. Meet or exceed. Meeting job performance, you're going to stay put. Go above and beyond. Be positive. Okay. Don't be a Debbie Downer going, I don't want to be here. Da, 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 da. You don't want to be there. Leave. Don't come to work anymore. Go get it something else. You don't want to be there? Trust me, the other people don't want you there either. Okay? It's reality. Communicate. Okay? Collaborate. Work with people. Be dependable and reliable. Be willing to hear feedback. Not all feedback means you're doing something wrong. Okay? That's how we learn and improve. Take initiative. Step outside. Okay? This is how you'll know you are successful. It's not just about the money. You're going to feel satisfied. You're going to feel like you're doing something. You're going to feel like you're getting professional development. You're growing. You're going to have good relationships on the job and at home. You're going to have a better home life. You're going to feel like you're doing something. You're going to have flexibility in how you do something. On the job, you're going to be able to do things more than one way. And personal growth, you're going to have the ability to expand. Now, I just saw this on an article in Business Week. Now, how many people currently research companies before they apply? Anybody research companies before they apply? Giovanni does. Anybody else? Okay, Caitlin does. Okay, I see hands come up. I don't get to see who they are. Okay, Mr. Perez, Shane does. Okay, so they interview people who interview, and they asked them, when you're getting down to the final few people for the position, what is the number one reason why you don't choose somebody? And they said, because they didn't research our company. The reason why they don't choose people is they want to hear about their company. When they ask them, why do you want to work here? They want that person to tell them things about the company themselves. And when you don't tell them things that you've seen or heard about their company, you're out of the running. Research that company before you go in. So when they ask you, why do you want to work here? Please relay information back about that company. Right there, they're telling you, this is why you get kicked out. Boom, right there. Number one reason across the board when it gets down to the final. And they're looking, and everybody's got the same skills and this and that, and they're nitpicking as to who they want. They're looking for reasons to kick you out of the choices. Has everybody got that? Everybody hear that? Yes, yes? Okay, so now you know why. So here's tonight's question. Find a company in your career field that you believe you would like to work for. If you know them, look them up, okay? 3 details about the company. Find 3 details. I want you to look at the company, or if you know the 3 details, name 3 details that you can find, like when they were founded, how many states are they in, anything about them. List them. That's your assignment tonight for the participation. Please don't forget to include the name of the company that you did this for. That should be something quick to do. We all have places we would like to work. Find that company, go to their website. You know, what 3 things can you specifically say about that company? Because if it's someplace you'd like to work, you want to know about them and they want to hear about themselves. All right. So that's it. Okay. Everybody got that? Everybody good for tonight? Yes, yes? All right.
10-4.
Okay. So let's get to getting. We've got one more live class tomorrow, and then Thursday, that class will be recorded. That assignment will open up, like I said, just a few minutes after midnight. So y'all can jump on that and get to going. You're almost to the end. Finish those assignments out. The final exam's open. Everything is open. Finish at your pace, but be done before Thursday at 10 o'clock. You do not have to wait until Thursday to do any of these assignments. All right? You got it. Y'all have a great evening. See you tomorrow.
Wait, there was no question?
I already went over the question.